I went to prison for a second-degree murder that I committed when I was 17.
So you served 20 years, and now you're playing at Dungeons & Dragons in a mansion in San Francisco with guys from tech, lawyers, and neuroscience.
Yeah. Well, when I first was incarcerated, I was extremely introverted. I was so fear-driven. When I was in prison, Dungeons & Dragons is something that just fell into my lap. For me, this is like a life simulator to practice my listening skills, pay attention to information, be intentional about what I want to do, have some kind of structure. All of these that I got, they facilitated through Dungeons & Dragons.
By a show of hands, how many of you served time in prison? So, nearly half the table.
My name is Jared Rudolph. I am an attorney and the founder of Prisoner Reentry Network.
You learned how to play D&D, Dungeons & Dragons, so you could connect with some of these guys coming out of prison.
Yeah. Dungeons & Dragons is about collective role-playing. And we all together are building a story as our characters. It's a big thing inside of California's prisons.
So what was the impetus of bringing this group together?
Some of the same fellas that we gained with we're starting to be released. Mark was out, Chris got out, Al got out. All these dudes started getting out. Like, hey, well then let's start playing.
It's a matter of community building, getting people to come around a table and relate in a way that they wouldn't usually relate, and with people they might not usually relate with. And D&D is a really great way to do that.
Anything that takes prison out of your head is beneficial. Even though you're incarcerated, you're not there.
It was definitely an escape. It's creativity, untapped, and whoosh.
And I get to try on different ways of being. When I played the game, there was no necessary conformity to prison rules within this world.
There is a benefit socially, like through networking. It just blew me away. I'm fresh out of prison, and I have access to PhDs in physics and people that started up multi-million-dollar companies. There's things that people are doing here that are making the world a better place, and it's centers around D&D.
I am a product manager at a startup.
I'm a neuroscientist at UCSF.
I work for a nonprofit that advances technologies that are beneficial for the future of humanity. It's very San Francisco.
Yeah.
And they see beyond the crimes.
Yeah, I am judged by what I do today in this environment.
Especially at that table.
Yes.
We started with Dungeons & Dragons, but it became a lot more.
When I'm struggling with something, like Bert's amazing at talking through like forgiveness and like problems, and it just feels like a really mutual friendship.
So often that formerly incarcerated people just kick it with other formerly incarcerated people. But I don't really think that's true reintegration in society. I don't think that's the end that we should be striving for.
Would you say you guys have a real friendship now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The game brought us together.
We're similar characters.
You kind of look a little similar too.
Yeah. I feel like half my life has gone by already, and it went by so fast. And so really, I have the opportunity to make an impact in the world, and that people will know who I am. They will know about the horrible circumstances of my past, but leaning on the community and finding new skills to move forward, I feel blessed. I feel blessed and grateful.
In prison, they didn't let you have dice?
Oh, there were some guys that had to manufacture their own dice. I've heard of people taking bread and mushing it together, shaving down to make a 20-sided dice, and then write it in there so that you can make dice.
I'm Michael Koenigs, the host of More in Common. And if you have a story idea, be sure to comment below and subscribe for our next episode.